Yes, the medals are rolling in at the second edition of the African Military Games taking place in Abuja, the capital city of Nigeria. Nigeria, of course, is hosting. The last time this game was held was in Nairobi, Kenya. That was in 2002. That's 22 years from now. That's the last time it was held. And now in Nigeria, 22 years after, it's been held, and the medals are rolling in for Nigeria. Handball and wrestling. That's where the medals are coming from. Welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Mogbe, right here from our Lagos studio. All right, this is what the show is like tonight. We'll be talking about the CAF Women's Player of the Year nomination. The list of 10 players are out, and for the first time in 10 years, Asisat Oshola, the reigning African Player of the Year, she is not in that list. She has won it 6 times. Maybe they feel, okay, I mean, too much. Let's just take her out so that other people can actually vote for new African Player of the Year. But the good news is we have 2 Super Falcons players on that. Rasheedat Ajibade plays for Atletico Madrid, and of course, Chiamaka Nnadozie plays for Paris FC. These ladies have done so well in their club this season. But the Zambians, and of course, lead the pack, and the Malawians, you have 2 players from Malawi, 2 sisters, Chawanga sisters, of course, they are there, and 2 players from Zambia. South Africa, you also have 2 players from them. Burundi, Morocco, you have players from those other countries, complementing that 10 list that was unveiled by CAF on Wednesday night. Yes, you also have the Young Players of the Year, the Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year, we have 2 coaches from Nigeria, the under-20 women's national team coach, and also the under-17 women's national team coach. No, we have 3 coaches, and Edo Queen's coach, he's also there in that Coach of the Year nomination. Yes, that's what will get our attention tonight. And also, we'll break it down. The goals that were scored at the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, from the goals, the teams with the highest numbers of points. And most of these that you'll be seeing on the show tonight, there is no Nigeria. Yeah. It's funny, but we'll break it down for you on the show tonight. And of course, we will also be talking about the CAF Women's Champions League. The 3rd place match is on Friday, and Edo Queens, of course, will be in action against Massa FC of Egypt. They will be seeking to finish 3rd in that. The final will be played on Saturday between Asfar of Morocco and, of course, TP Mazembe of DR Congo. Those are the 2 teams that will be contesting the final of the CAF Women's Champions League. The curtains is about to be drawn, and that's so much more on the show tonight. Yes, Super Falcons will also know their opponents tomorrow when the draw is done for the, well, finally, Women's African Nations Cup. Once you know the draw is set, you know obviously it's going to hold. It will be in Morocco, and it's going to be in July. That's when it will be held. That's the time. And of course, the country is Morocco. 12 teams are qualified already. And of course, they will be knowing their opponent on Friday. We'll also digest that on the show tonight. But I'm not alone on the show. Austin will join me much later. But Onifade Damilola is right here in the studio. He works for FRC, and yes, good to have you.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back to talk particularly women's football. Yeah. I can see the smile on your face.
The way we have women's football, and it's all good news, you just want to celebrate.
Yeah, definitely. You want to celebrate. I love the fact that yes, Asisat is not there, but I think we are not doing badly in terms of nomination. To see the coach of Edo Queens as a team as well, part of the team of the year, and even 2 players from Edo Queens as well in the Interclub Player of the Year. I think it's quite good. Impressive outing so far for Nigeria in terms of nomination. Hopefully we'll pick 1 or 2 awards on the night. Yeah,
hopefully, but I'm really not so confident. Hopefully we'll be able to do that. Austin joins us from London. Austin, how you doing?
Body greetings to you, Cecilia, and everyone joining us on the show tonight. Always an action-packed sort of sports. I'm so pumped up for the military games because Africa can actually use sports to, champion a lot of changes I want to see in our military. Edo Queens, what a story. I still like what they did. I don't care how it's going to end for them, but I love the fact that they've stopped Mamelodi Sundowns from going on to win a 3rd CAF Women's Champions League. With the CAF Awards, I've always said it that we need to slow down with awards, When players give their best, they understand and they know when they give their best, because awards can actually be really sentimental and all of that. So shout out to all of the Nigerians that made the nominees. And for our sister, maybe they just say, let her calm down, let her relax. She's the only one playing football for women in Africa, but we're still proud of our star girls. Nothing can touch, everything she has done for the development of the women's game in Africa, and she's an absolute legend, Cecilia.
Yeah, she is absolutely. She's a legend. I was looking through her stats since she joined BFC right there in NWSL, and of course she scored, out of 26 games, she scored 8 goals already, and of course it's some assists, and that shows that, hey, no matter how well you want to look down on some of her achievements, she's really not ready to leave the stage here. But she's doing wonderfully well. Let's start up with the military games that Austin mentioned earlier. It's all about unity. It's all about security. It's all about knowing that, yes, there's something that brings everyone together, and that's sport, and that's what everyone agree on. And each time I listen to these sports personnel, politicians, all of them, talking about how sport is a unifying factor for countries, for, for nations, for continents, states and everything, I'm like, okay, why don't we invest in it? We just come, we talk about it. Why don't we, put money into this sport, and we'll see where Africa will be.
Cecilia, you just asked a question that I'm not sure. Even if we go 10 years back, anybody will be able to give answers to, because you hear that statement very often. You hear it very often that sport is a unifier, sport has the potential to bring unity across the world, but then you find out that the way we treat it, the way we handle it, does not support the claim. But that does not take away the fact that sport actually has such capacity. And I think a competition such as this, the military games, it's a clear way to express it, that if there is any factor that can bring people together, is actually sport. And I think we have to commend this. It's been a while. Yeah. It's been a while. Whatever reason made us to wait till this time before we have another one.
If you know what's going on in Africa, you understand the reason, right?
And again, that's the point. That's we must move beyond this level and ensure that
it's consistent. I think that's what we'll be looking forward to. But the games, the theme for this year's edition is enhancing military cooperation in Africa through sport. It's more like a revival of this games that was initiated over 20 years ago in Nairobi, Kenya. Speaking at this opening ceremony, you have the Vice President of Nigeria, Kashim Shettima. He was right there, talking to the participants and also all the military personnel that came from across Africa, from Kenya to South Africa to Tunisia to Ghana, Cameroon, everywhere. More than how many countries were represented? So many countries represented right there. Let's listen to him. The message he's got for the sports personnel and military personnel, all of them participating in this event.
To our esteemed participants and guests, I assure you that this will be a memory to cherish, not just for you, but for all of us. Your presence in Abuja is a testament to the enduring spirit of unity and camaraderie that defines our shared purpose as Africans. We are deeply honored to host this prestigious event, especially as we reflect on the fact that the first edition of the Africa Military Games was held over 2 decades ago in Nairobi, Kenya. It is remarkable to think that we are now reviving this grand tradition. The theme of this year's Games, enhancing military cooperation in Africa through sports, could not be more fitting. The timing of this gathering demonstrates the wisdom and foresight of its organizers. Every leader and military strategist knows that the security challenges we face across our continent cannot be addressed through kinetic measures alone. We must refine and deepen the friendships and partnerships that have long existed amongst us. Our collective safety and the well-being of our people demand that we stand together, shoulder to shoulder, as one united Africa. And we need one another more than ever before. This event also highlights the vital importance of maintaining the physical fitness of our personnel through activities beyond mandatory combat training. Sports not only keep us physically fit, but also instill and promote core values such as integrity, excellence, and discipline.
Excellence and history. The first one was in Kenya, Nairobi in 2002, precisely 27th of April. And right now we are having another one in Nigeria, Abuja. Austin, I mean, you listen to the vice president. We always, love to hear them talk, especially when it has to do with sports, promoting the game, and also development and the unity and the uniformity it brings to the continent as also the nation. As I was talking to Onifade earlier, we know the reason why it has not been held for the past 22 years. Of course, the war across some of the regions in Africa is really not looking good. I hope this will definitely pave the way for, for more, how do I put it now, more coordination or more security on the continent.
I totally agree, and it's already winning. Remember, I think Mali, Burkina Faso pulled out of ECOWAS. When I see them competing at the military games, it tells you that sports has got the power to unite countries, to make Africa great. I saw a video of Coach Emeka dancing after Nigeria shooting team won gold medals, and it was so heartwarming. These guys, particularly the military, shout out to them and for everything that they've done for the continent. You could tell that this is a good avenue for them to relax, to also let us know that they are humans. Not every time pick up gun and go to war. So let us also see their talent, to see their emotional side. And I love what, the level of unity, togetherness, understanding that this second African military games have already shown us. Nigeria, for instance, had to show that, look, we are not just a country that is respected and powerful. We're a great host. We have the biggest contingent. The Nigerian military band, fantastic, during the opening ceremony. There's just something about the military that you would love. It's just really if you are not, if you are not bold, brave, but you just love their presence. Yeah. You love their discipline. It's the soul of the army, You love the way they are so coordinated. They are so orderly. You cannot misbehave when you're around them. And you can tell that with planning and organization, they did a great job. I think corporate Nigeria should even go ask them, how did you put this together? You can be sure of one thing, that you cannot go to that Abuja National Stadium and misbehave. So it means security will be top-notch also. I love everything that I've seen so far with this second edition of the military games, and I just hope that countries will find a way to see beyond sports with this. There can be diplomatic partnership. We can use it to foster peace and unity. They can use it to actually see ways that they can even do things together as a country. So I love it so much. It's something that we should keep going, and in no time, Africa will be the envy of Europe, America, because a divided house cannot stand firm, Cecilia. So this sporting event has shown that Africa can be united. Africa can come together. We can reason as one. Let's take a listen to the president of the Organization of Military Sports in Nigeria, in Africa, that's General Christopher Musa, and of course some other talking points from the second edition of the African Military Games.
These games provide us with an extraordinary platform to showcase not only the athletes' prowess of our military personnel, but also the bond, solidarity, understanding that unite us as native in our African continent. Through sports, we transcend borders, fostering unity and mutual respect, understanding among the armed forces of Africa. To our athletes that are here, you are the embodiment of discipline, dedication, and resilience. Your commitment to excellence inspires us all in the African continent. As you compete, remember, as you compete, our athletes, remember that you carry the hopes and dreams of your countries and represent the values of honor and integrity that the hallmarks of military service we are in now. May you compete fiercely but yet fairly. And may the spirit of sportsmanship guide you in every challenge you face.
The objective of the game is to foster unity and understanding, as well as strengthen the collaborative efforts among the armed forces of organization of military sports in Africa member nations. In a world often marked by security challenges, conflicts, and crises, these games remind us of the power of collaboration and shared purpose. True sports will transcend borders and barriers, focusing on the ideals of teamwork, discipline, and mutual respect, values intrinsic to the military ethos. On our part, the Armed Forces of Nigeria will continue to project the excellent relationship with the armed forces of other African nations and further seek areas for more collaboration and synergy of efforts. I have no doubt in my mind that by building bridges of understanding through healthy competition, the efforts and sacrifices made in defending the continent for all aggression and internal insurrection will be a lot easier. I therefore wish to encourage all athletes from the participating countries to imbibe the spirit of sportsmanship and strive to put their optimal performance towards winning laurels.
Fantastic. I love it. You're listening to Jeremiah Kano there. Is the chairman of the organizing committee and the chief of the defense staff. And they echoed the same words. Damilola Onifade, I heard the president of the organizing committee saying that the athletes should uphold the values of honor and integrity, not forgetting that the game is fair play also.
I think that's what is important. If you miss that part of sport, fairness and respect for your opponent, then you are losing the whole essence of sport at the end of the day. Yes, we're here to compete. Yes, we're here to represent our nation. But that sense of integrity, that sense of fair play must be maintained at any level of sport, irrespective of who you are, whether you're a military man or you are a sportsman.
I love that. I love that fact. And the fact that when Nigeria, as I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show, Nigeria has claimed double gold in handball, both men and women. And guess the country they beat? Ghana. I'm happy about that. It's Ghana. So Ghana had settled for silver in both categories. And Nigeria also won a silver medal in men's 87 kg. That's wrestling event. Tochukwu Okeke defeating Tunisia Sobri Umsoria 7-5 in the final match. That's to snatch that medal at the game. So it's a good one. His wife was actually right there to support him when he was beating the Tunisia and he won silver. So we have other medals. What we're going to do, like daily, we'll be having the medals at table for you and the events that has been competed, and then you get to follow your country. If Nigeria is hosting to win, we'll find out about that. But obviously, more of the military games will come on the show. All right, let's leave that and quickly go straight to the CAF Women's Champions League. The semi-final, the third place match is on Friday, and of course the final is on Saturday. But then we'll talk about this one quickly, talking about the CAF Women's Champions League. We'll just let you a confirmation of the third place match, the time and the venue, and then we'll now take a look at reaction coming from the coach and the player of Edo Queens. Massa Women and Edo Queens, Egypt and Nigeria. It's going to be 6 p.m. Nigeria time, of course. It's in Casablanca in Morocco. Now, Edo Queen's coach has been talking about what they intend to do and how they can actually improve, because they faced Massa before. It ended goalless at the group stage, and now they're facing them again. They want to take a step better and see if they can finish third, which is the least they can get at the moment. Let's listen to Coach Moses Aduku and also Doris O'Hare talking ahead of the game against Massa tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I'm expecting my guys to go all out and see how they can win the bronze medal. I know it's not going to be an easy one. The Egyptian team is also a good team. The last time we played them, it was goalless. But I believe Goalless will not give us the bronze, so definitely we need to go all out to win. The TP was physical, but it has nothing to do with my system of play. It did not affect my team, and it's not that they are stronger. My team lost concentration last minute. They did not hold up. If you watch the second semis, the Moroccan team also got equalized the Moroccan team, but you know, they are resilient. They believe they can still make it, and they scored the second goal. So my team lost it at that point in time when they equalized us, and they thought it was over. They never remembered the South African game, that we were down 1-0 and we came back to win. So it's just unfortunate. Football is like that sometimes. But all the same, tomorrow's game is more important. We want just to complement what we did by trying to win the third place, which is also going to be a very tough game because the team we've played before, and the two teams, no one won the game. But this time they need a winner to pick up the bronze medal. I think we will try and do that.
I think we did well, but it's only the will of God will happen. We prepared very well for this competition, for us to carry the cup home, and for us to create a history for ourselves. But that is football. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, sometimes you draw. So I think by God's grace, next year we'll make it up.
Austin Edo Queens, Massa FC on Friday night, 6 p.m. Nigerian time, third place match. It's right here up on.
I know. You know, Cecilia actually wanted either Edo Queens or Massa to get to the final because they actually showed good spirit. Yeah. You know, for me, Massa is even the surprise package of the start of the tournament, and it showed when they both met. You know, and you mentioned it ended goalless. So that result was what gave Edo Queens the resilience that we saw in that game against Mamelodi Sundowns. So it's just sad that sometimes football don't go the way we want it. So either Massa or Edo Queens will leave the competition, you know, without, you know, getting on the podium, without medals. But I'm so proud of both teams, and I just want both teams to take, you know, this experience and see ways that they can use it to improve, you know, as a football team. But shout out to Edo Queens, and that's why I did not hesitate. For me, beating Mamelodi Sundowns is the actual title. It just goes to tell you that we've got the quality, you know, so it doesn't bother me if whatever happens in the final, even if teams doesn't want to go on to win a final or whatever. But Edo Queens, now we can see that with little or no resources, Nigeria, we have the talents. So what do we do now? Edo State government, we have the NSC. Is there any way we can collaborate? What programs can we put in place for this team that can now serve as yardstick, as benchmark for the development of women's football in Nigeria? Edo Queens won the Nigeria Women's Football League. Edo Queens have now gone to the continent to beat arguably the best women's club team in Africa. Tells you that they have done a fantastic job in terms of their talent. But remember, it's only how far talents can take you. Organization, planning, support, welfare, infrastructure. There's so much. It's 360 degrees, Cecilia. We must go around and do the right things. Otherwise, you know, we'll just keep having this sort of conversation. We go up, we come down. So congratulations to Edo Queens. Go out there tomorrow, do what you can against Massa. Irrespective, you have my love and respect.
Onifade, I mean, what can the coach do differently? He talked about the fact that it was inexperienced, their first time coming to the CAF Women's Champions League. But then, leaving it late, consider that late penalty goal. Is there something he can do differently? You know, tell the girls, because he won't have the opportunity to be on the bench, what he can actually do differently for them to beat Massa, since they couldn't break them down at that group stage. I
think the major thing is not to tweak too much. I think they're playing very good football. What is important tomorrow is that they must take their chance, and also as much as they can, if the opportunity comes, kill off the game as soon as possible. Because Massa Yeah, Masa is not Tipi Mazembe, it's not Mamelodi Sundowns. They're a defensive team, but they're also new in this competition. And because they've also played them before, I think that's an advantage. Yeah. Actually, this game will be won by the coach that takes the most advantage of whatever you learn from the first game.
Okay.
Really.
I like that. The way it ended. Right? Whoever takes the advantage, when you have the advantage, just take it. Don't wait for anything. That's definitely going to give them an edge. All right, let's look at the nominees. They're here. 10 players, African Women's Footballer of the Year. We'll look at that. We'll look at the Young Player of the Year. We'll also look at the Coach of the Year. There's also the Inter-Club Player of the Year. It's a whole lot. But we're going to start off with the Player of the Year for women. There are 10. You have 10 ladies right here battling for just the most coveted trophy that our sisters has held 6 times, a record, both men and women. No one has ever done that in Africa, so we need to set that record. All right, Cedrine Niyokuru of Burundi, who plays for FC Massa, she is topping there. Tabitha Chawinga, that's for Olympic Lyonnais. She's also there. Tewa Chawinga, the sisters, she's there. She plays for Kansas City in the US. Sana Musidi of Morocco, Asfa, Chamaka Nadozi of Nigeria, Paris FC, Rashida Najibade, Atletico Madrid for Nigeria, Jermaine from South Africa, Montreal in South America, Tembin Gatlana of South Africa, also playing in South America, Barbara Banda, Zambia, plays for Orlando Pride in the US, and of course, Richard Kudananji, she is the most expensive player in the world. People saying she has not really lived up to that name, of course. She's playing in the US. Also, same club with Asisat Oshola. Asisat Oshola has more goals than her. Asisat got 8. She's got 5, out of 22 for her. Hassan Bala, we'll go to Coach of the Year. We have Hassan Bala Abdusalami. Cameroon on the 20 team, Lamia Bomendi of Tipi Mazembe. You have Ahmed Ramanda of Mansa. You have Mildred Chek of Kenyan on the 17 team. Of course, Mohamed Liu of Asfa, Bankole Oluwukere of Nigeria under 17 team, Christopher Danjum of Nigeria under 20 team, Moses Eduku of Edo Queens, Miyang Thiam of Medina, that's from Algeria. You have Tinose Mbuli, University of Western Cape Town. These are the coaches for the year. Goalkeeper of the year, Kathy Bia of Cameroon, plays for Ekla, Fadine Ngoy from DR Congo and Tipi Mazembe, Habiba Sabri of Egypt, Mansa Fatima from Morocco, plays for Atletico club in Spain, Khadija Eri Ramchi, Morocco, Asfa of Morocco, Chamaka Nandozi, of course, she's also here, goalkeeper of the year, Mole Oyono for Edo Queens, she's at the Champions League, Adile Damini, the South Africa national team goalkeeper, playing for Mamelodi Sundowns, and of course, Tandeka Ngobi of University of Western Cape Town. Wrapping up is the goalkeeper from Zambia, wrapping up that a list of goalkeeper of the year. And then let's move to club of the year. Tipi Mazembe of DR Congo, FC Massa of Egypt, CB of Ethiopia, Asfa of Morocco, of course, the Edo Queens of Nigeria. You have Medina of Senegal, Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa, and University of the Western Cape Town, also of South Africa. That's the club of the year. We have Inter-Club Player of the Year, where you have 2 players from Edo Queens. Of course, you also have Young Player of the Year completing that. So the difference is now, let's just look at National Team of the Year. We have Cameroon on the 20 team, Kenya on the 20 team, Malawi, Morocco on the 20 team, Nigeria on the 17 and on the 20 team completing that. You also have South Africa and Zambia. This is what you have for National Team of the Year. And we'll go to Young Player of the Year, Kathy Bia of Cameroon. She's here. Naomi Etu of Cameroon. She's also here. Habiba Sabri. She's also here. Stella. She's here. Valerie is here. Doha El Medina also listed for that place for Asfa of Morocco. Lina Jamaya of Paris Saint-Germain plays for Morocco, and Chamaka Okuchuku plays for Rivers Rangers Nigeria. She was with the under-20 team. Sebastian Flourish, of course, who plays for Rennes in France. She was also with the under-20 team. You have last year, Magia of South Africa playing for Mamelodi Sundowns. These are the Young Player of the Year award. The nomination right here, you have 3 Nigerians in this, 2 Nigerians in this category of Young Player of the Year. So when it's reduced to 5, we'll come here and talk about it. When it's the final 3, of course, we'll also talk about it, see how many Nigerians will be able to make the list, if any of these awards will come home. The last one, we're so sure, but we don't know if any is going to be coming home. Is anyone coming home for you?
Chiamakana.
Okay, goalkeeper of the year, it's coming home again.
If that doesn't come home, somebody should be arrested.
Okay. Austin, which of these awards is coming home? We've got the Young Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, National Team of the Year, Interclub Player of the Year, and of course, the big one, African Player of the Year.
You know, when you were reading the list, I was just having a look, and for instance, after Player of the Year, something to Barbara Banda, Gatlana, something else. Come on, Austin.
Nah, Gatlana wouldn't even make it. She won't make top 5.
There is Rashida Ajibade in there, there is Chiamakanda Dozie.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go light with it, but I think Rashida Ajibade has done just enough to always get into the conversation recently, but for some reason, Cecilia, we cannot take our eyes off Barbara Banda and what she has been able to do with this.
You know also what I was even looking at Barbara Banda, if she may or may not win it. 24 matches, 16 goals, 7 assists this year for Orlando Pride. But if you look at what Tabitha has done for Olympic Lyon, last season 37 matches, 27 goals, 13 assists, and this year already 11 matches, 6 goals in the current season. I was looking at Tabitha, I was looking at Barbara Banda, the country, yes, that's where it's called because of Zambia.
Barbara Banda,
right?
She has done enough to be the model of football for women in Zambia. She has been a fantastic role model, you know, and it's just some, she's got a personality. No disrespect to Tabitha and all of the mentions she has gotten for herself and what she's done with club football. But I think Barbara Banda, Cecilia, let's be sincere, even when Assisat was on fire, Gatlana on fire, we still find a way to talk about Barbara Banda.
Yeah, she's been there. She's been consistent.
So she has done just enough. For Coach of the Year, if I'm part of the committee at CAF, I'll say, give whoever you want to give. But just say well done to Coach Moses Aduku for what he has done with Edo Queens. See, persons don't understand how we create magic in Nigeria, because I know the system, how you just use leap to out of nowhere. It defeats even the parable of the mustard seed. We create magic, Cecilia. Coach Moses Aduku and what he has done with this Edo Queens team, I told you, just beating Mamelodi Sundowns is good enough for us to say we have done well. Then young player, you know, this is the same thing I said with the men's awards. So young players, I just love and cherish all of the young persons who are doing so well for their career. They're coming up, people are talking about them, and we just hope that it encourages them to go all the way. But I love Flourish, Sebastian. I think she is a complete footballer. I think she understands service. She plays purposeful football. Not putting out any other person that is in the list, but I just hope that this nomination, this mention itself, whether or not you make the final list, you know, for women, it's good enough. I repeat, it's good enough to motivate upcoming young footballers in Africa and also empower the girl child. So congratulations to everyone on the list, Cecilia.
Austin has made his known, but you look at Rashida Ajibade, what she's done this season. Last season, she had 30 games, 10 goals and 6 assists. So far this season, she has 8 goals and 8 games, 5 goals and 2 assists. She should be in that running for the likes of Rachel Kudandanji, who has 22 games, 5 goals and 4 assists and 7 yellow cards.
I think what you have to mention, I think what will work against Rashidat majorly is that in the moment you look at that list and Assisat is not there, you start looking at those that have been competing with Assisat. And that's where Barbara Banda
will come in.
Tabitha
will come in.
Gatlana to some extent will have
I'm not sure Gatlana will make that top
I'm not sure she will win, but I think that would be the next thing. If you're the one to vote, that's what you're looking at.
You're looking for.
You're looking at. And that's not to dispute the fact that whatever Rashidat has done, she's done well. If I'm going to be sentimental, I'm going to say Rashida should win it.
Yeah.
But I'm not so sure.
At the
I think our best chance of winning anything here is this young player of the year. I'm looking at Flourish there, and then the goalkeeper of the year.
Okay. In terms of, I think I'm looking at Chiamaka Akuchukwu. Yeah, I think I'm looking at our Rivers Angels that I'm looking at. I don't know. I'm just thinking that because of what she did on the 20s, scoring goals and everything. Yes, she has some misses, but I think so. We'll leave that there and quickly go to Super Falcons. They will know the opponents. They will know the group they will be in. Right now, they're seeded in Team B1. That's where they are seeded. Morocco is in A1 and South Africa is in C1. So by tomorrow we will know. So now we know that the Women's Africa Cup of Nations will be held in Morocco next year. So we've got the cup holders, we've got the 12 teams that have qualified. You have Ghana, Algeria, Botswana, Democratic Republic of Congo, Tunisia, Senegal, Tanzania, and of course Mali, also part of those teams that have won it. Nigeria's won it 9 times, and in between you have Equatorial Guinea, and who else?
Twice.
South Africa. Dominant. I love that.
We are taking it off.
Yeah, we are taking it. So we know once the draw is conducted, we'll come back here and dissect it. It's going to be, of course, Mohammed, the 6th football complex in Rabat, Morocco, on Friday evening. So once it's done here, you will get to know the country that the Super Falcons will be facing to see if they can win the 10th. I mean, La Decima, that's what we are looking for right now. To be on that double figure where no other country would ever come close. La Decima. Okay, we'll leave it quickly because if we want to talk about Super Falcons, Austin will have time to dwell on Super Falcons tomorrow, right? But let's quickly go to this one. I was asking our producer, Irene Ewoma, is listening and is watching. Now, the list he brought out of everything, I was looking for Super Eagles of Nigeria. I did not see it. I'm going to go to the screen now and take a look at what these countries, what they did and why they are here, and there is no Super Eagles of Nigeria. Now, we'll start with teams that secured the highest points at the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. The teams that secured the highest points, starting off with, of course, the host nation, Morocco. They finished without dropping a single point, 6 in 6, and in all, they've got 18 points. Algeria next, 16 points, and Senegal, 16, South Africa, 14, Cameroon, 14, Mali, 14, Egypt, 14, and Angola, 14. You look at all the maps, and there is no Nigeria. So go ahead to talk about the teams that secured the least points. Of course, we can't definitely not be in this group because it's the negative one, the countries that could not qualify. You've got Madagascar, Eswatini, Namibia, Central African Republic, Ghana, Chad. Yeah, Ghana, of course, they had just 3 points out of 6 matches that they played. Now, let's take a look at teams with highest goals scored. Morocco, 26 goals that they scored at the qualifiers. South Africa got 16, Algeria got 16, Egypt had 12, Mali got 10 goals, and Senegal got 10. So Austin will come here, right here, and you look at this here. I should be asking Irene Ewoma, why we didn't even have Nigeria in these teams with highest numbers of goals. He prepared this. Austin, were we that poor?
Cecilia, calm down. You need to be calming down. Cecilia, my name is Austin. When it doesn't have a guavoy at the end, it's Okonakman. So that's the question for the club. I get where you're coming from. Were they that poor? I still think they weren't poor. It's just our fire brigade issues and approach that is still dealing with the Super Eagles. You know, I think these guys have quality. I think they can play good football. But look, I will not stop holding, you know, like streets in Nigeria, pull you by your shirt, so I'll jack you by your neck. You know, so I'll keep holding sports administrators. I'm sure Diko knows me, and I'll keep calling him out now. Bukola Olopade know me that Austin will call you out. Fix infrastructure, fix sporting facilities, remove any form of corruption, any misappropriation of funds or of financial instability, and you will see our sport shine again.
Okay, transparency.
You cannot take players who are playing in Europe on standard football pitches, Cecilia.
Wait, Austin, I was going to ask you this question on Tuesday. Is it that the Yo Stadium is not good enough for our players, really?
Cecilia, how are they maintaining the stadium? Look at the pitch. The pitch is also stressed. That's where Aqua United plays. And they also do other activities there. Did you not see the way the ball was bouncing? Go look at it again. They are not doing enough. I'm saying that it must meet the standard that Olaino is using at Nottingham Forest, the standard of what Victor Boniface is using at Bayer Leverkusen, the standard of what Wilfred Ndidi is playing on at Leicester City. Otherwise, the behavior of the ball will change.
Okay. Olifade Damilola, do you share I understand that sometimes you just want, the best for the footballers. Beyond all that, the pitch or anything, when the guys usually set up, we'll still list. We've got highest numbers of points from teams, highest numbers of goals from teams. When are they here? We finished with 11 points, and that's because Libya gave us 3. So imagine you take that out, and okay. You don't know what could have happened.
I honestly share his view.
Yeah.
I believe that to get the best out of the Super Eagles, one of the things we must do, not the only thing, is that you must create the
same... But what happens when they go to other countries to play in a better pitch?
That's what I'm still saying. It's one of the things we must do is you must create the right environment like they experience in their clubs for the national team, for them to...
Should we just use home-based players to play
But then the other challenge with the Super Eagles, I think there is also a technical problem. The setup of the Super Eagles, the way the team plays, there is a problem with it. You can't just put that on the administrators.
Okay.
I think there's something just...
Or maybe there's indiscipline with the players or something?
Whatever it is, there's something that whoever is leading it, you can't figure it out. Okay. You see the Super Eagles play, and then you wonder, is this the same players I watch at Atalanta, at Napoli? You start wondering.
Have you seen Alessi Iwobi's statistics at Fulham?
At Fulham, exactly.
You need to look at it.
And then you see Iwobi at the Super Eagles. Iwobi is just running around like he's not even sure what he's doing on the ball. Yeah. And that bothers me. And I don't know how to explain that. You can see that I'm stuttering. Something is not right with the Super Eagles. To see that the Super Eagles, we qualify, yes. Yeah. But then if you look at our stats, then you're scared for what we're going to do at the AFCON. If Morocco in 6 games will be scoring 26 goals.
26 goals in 6 games. Yes. 6 in 6, that was what they did. So, the Nations Cup might just stay, the trophy of the Nations Cup might stay in Morocco. Austin, we have to go.
Yeah, we have to go, and then I'm just looking at the list again, Cecilia, taking another look at the slide, and I'm saying, let me just end this show like a Nigerian sports administrator, where we're not part of the team with the least points or goals. So all is not so bad. We need to do more to develop sports in Nigeria. And that's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonakman. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Damilola, it was nice doing this with you.
It's been a pleasure being here as well.
Good night. I'm Cecilia Moses.